everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We just love those of you guys who made it time to join us live. Like, I love that Priscilla's in the car. I love that Angela just got off the call with Carl Deichler and then got her workout in and is joining us. I love that Ellie's sitting in here with us. I love that Courtney just jumped on. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your night. We know it's dinner time. We know it's late. We know it's all of those. We just love that you took time to spend time with us in real time. And then for those of you guys watching the recording, thank you for taking time to watch the recording later. So I figure I'm going to kind of introduce the topic of this call and why our motivations behind it. And then Kim's going to introduce this like really fun idea that we have called like the Your Best Red Life Health Bet that's going to start on Monday. And like my heart's starting to beat fast because I'm like getting excited just talking about it and sharing it with you guys. We've been going back and forth with ideas for like the last week about this. We have a couple more details that we're going to nail out, like nail out, hammer out, nail down in the next couple of days before we actually kick off. But we're both really excited to share with you what that actually looks like and why we're really excited to do it. So in terms of how this idea came about, you know, Kim and I have both been doing this business for a couple years, and we both have very big dreams and goals for our businesses. And we hold ourselves to just like a high standard, and we're trying to be consistent, and we're trying to be good leaders. And we know that sometimes you can do this for a while, and you can kind of start to cut corners in your business, whether it's even in your fitness journey, right? Like if you're not quite sticking to the programs like you used to, or if you're not quite sticking to the nutrition part of it, but you're sticking to the fitness part, or maybe you're not quite doing personal development, or you're not quite doing invites, or not quite doing your power hour, but you're doing all of these other things. It can start to feel like you're turning your wheels and you're spinning your wheels, but you're actually not getting anywhere because there's no traction. You're like missing an element. And so we've been talking about how can we just instill a sense of urgency in our team? How can we help them? What tool can we provide them? How can we make this really fun to go all in? How can we, like, what can we do? Because we know that it's so important to really like dig in and be consistent in your business. And we know that for those of us, if this isn't you, that's totally fine. But for those of us who say we want to build a business, we know that we have to hold ourselves accountable to doing business building activities. And it's in the same way that in our health and fitness journey, that if we don't quite stick to the program, or if we have challengers who like don't quite stick to the program, and they're not really drinking their Shakeology every day, and they're kind of only doing their workouts sometimes, or when they're doing their workouts, they're not really pushing all the way, or kind of just like not even really sweating. They're not like increasing their weights, they're not pushing themselves. Or maybe they're cutting corners on the nutrition part. And if one of your challengers is doing that, and then they come to you frustrated that they're not getting results, I think that you would tell them straight up, they need to actually stick to the program. You know, and we can apply those principles to our business, where Beachbody has given us a very specific program for success, a very specific process for success in this business. And if we actually want to have success in this business, we need to hold ourselves accountable to following the process and committing to the full program. And that means the 4 vital behaviors, which we talk about on every call. That means showing up and being consistent, which we talk about all the time. And that means being very real with ourselves about our commitment level. That means being very real with ourselves about, are we actually doing this? And I think sometimes we can think that we really are. Like before I started writing down my food, before I started doing One Day Fix, I thought I was eating healthy. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm like eating, this is great. But when I actually wrote it down, things started changing. I started realizing that like I actually was mindlessly not really committed to, I was grabbing an extra handful of snacks here, or I was eating too much here, or whatever. And so Paul and I were like brainstorming, like what can we do? Like how can we help people and ourselves just like really dig into the 4 vital behaviors, into the power hour? How can we make it really fun? And we know too, it seems like it's been a little while since we haven't really had, I feel like, like a lot of people in our group start and finish a program start to finish and share like some real serious results pictures. And so Kim and I, and we know that summer's coming, we know that the holidays weren't that long ago, we know that things are really busy. So we were like, all right, how can we help each other and our team kind of really dig in to get some serious results? And we had this idea about this health bet that Kim's going to really explain what that is. But we chose this timeline of what if we did this big push to Summit? what if or we're going to start on Monday. It's going to go from June 12th to July 9th or 10th, whatever that Sunday is right before Summit. And it's like this 4-week big push in our business and in our health and fitness, so that we can really dive in, gain some serious momentum in our business. Even if you're not going to Summit, I think having like this event that's coming is a big deal. And Kim and I are going to start brainstorming ways that if you're not going to Summit, how you can really still use Summit to like really launch your business, and how you can really share the story of Summit and what that is. But so you still want to be like known and seen and gain momentum before Summit, because we're also leading into not only a Summit going to gain some momentum, but then we're also leading into Shift Shop is going to help us. And so you want to gain momentum now, so that when you lead into that launch, that when you lead into that launch, that people have already seen you, they know you, you've gotten some serious results to like lead people into that, right? Like they see you, they trust you, they know you, and they want to join you. And so I'm going to pass it over to Kim to start explaining about like this idea of the health bet, and then we'll probably circle back. You guys can ask questions. I might have some more comments if I get really excited again as she's talking about it. And so Kim, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Okay, and I'm just going to close a couple things here because it said my internet is unstable, which is hysterical.
Because that's your word right now.
That's my word that I use when I call my husband and say, I'm unstable, and that means he needs to do things. Okay, here we go. I closed a whole pile of apps. Okay, so kind of what we're thinking. So this kind of health bet idea came from Josh Coates. He had a health bet for your business. So we thought, what if we did a health bet for your physical, for your business, and for, I guess that's it. So yeah. The idea is that we would, every day there would be a post, and you would be committing to your power hour every single day. And so you would maybe show, this is kind of some of the details we're still working out, but we loved the idea of possibly doing like the business activity tracker. As much as like lots of us don't use that, I know that there are tons of people having great success using it. So maybe like at the end of the day, you snap a photo of your business activity tracker, ching, and you put that, like you upload that to the check-in for that day. And the goal is that you would gain points, and we would all do a buy-in. So you would put money in if you're in it. And so you would be checking on, because if you ever print out the business activity tracker, that also has like shake, workout, whatever. So you would take a before photo right at
Sunday.
Yeah, you would take your photo right on, what did you say, Monday?
I said Sunday or Monday. Yeah, whatever. Like, yeah.
So basically, we would take a before photo, just like we were starting a program on that day. And it's okay if you're not. Like, I'm right in the middle of P90X3, but my hope is I would have results from P90X3 to when we finish 28 days later. So that's kind of the goal, is that we would be pushing each other. We would give it that, like, because here's the thing. I would love to see someone who said, I did my business activity, I did my entire power hour every day for 28 days, and I have 0 Success Club points, and I have 0 change in my body, and I feel terrible on the inside, and I have no new coaches. I can guarantee you, I will bet you that will not happen. You will see, if you're doing check, there will be a change in all of the above. And so that's like that's kind of the healthy competition that we're going to have. And we haven't quite figured out like how many points or whatever you get, but the goal is like, who wants to be the person that just falls off? Like, oh, I just decided I'm going to stop working out. Like, no, like our goal is to push each other. You don't have to have a perfect score. It'll just be whoever is the top score. So we'll put the money in the pot, and then we'll divvy it up for the top four winners or top 5 winners or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind the health bet. We want you to see that, especially because right now we're all going through this training, this social media training, and we're all just dishing out all these things that we're learning. And so if you're putting into practice all these little things, I would bet you that your business will grow. And so that's kind of our hope. And I think the cool part is and we haven't actually asked Amy yet, but we are going to actually maybe have Amy Mundo run the team call in 2 weeks, because she recently kind of took a hiatus, and then she came back, and she's come back like with, well, she came back exactly the way she started, which is just a ton of momentum. And when we asked her what is the difference this go around, she simply prints out her she has her little business activity tracker, which you can find in hard hitters, and she checks the box. She invites, she does her power, so it's very clean. There's no like mess. You don't feel messy because there's nothing to be messy about. She's doing her program, she's drinking her shake, and she's doing the business activity tracker, and that's it. So we're going to talk about that next week. So our hope is that we can just keep giving you guys tools to show you how to simplify what might seem like it's not simple at all, if that makes sense. Because I think so often we want to overcomplicate this business. We want to think that we have to do all these crazy things, and we're trying to keep up with Sarah and Joe and Susan. But at the end of the day, it is your own race. It is your own, it's your own path. And all we can keep doing is moving forward and growing in the areas. But Amy said the cool part is like when she started doing the business activity tracker, she saw where her weak points are. Right? Like, oh man, I only did 2 invites. Oh man, I only did this. So she saw the areas that she needed to pick up the slack in. And that's kind of the hope in this 28 days, or whatever, how many days it is before Summit. Yeah. So thoughts, Britt?
Yeah, and just to follow up on like what Kim is sharing about, I think that sometimes we can kind of get into this mindset where we get fired up about coaching and we go all in and we kind of like burn ourselves out. And then we're frustrated that we didn't get like momentum, or that our business isn't growing, or we feel like it's just overwhelming. And in the same way, there's so many parallels to our health and fitness journey, right? Like if someone comes to you and is like, I ate so well, like I ate these, for like 2 days. And then, but now like I didn't see the results that I wanted. And you're like, it takes time, right? And the same is true for us in our business as well, that we know in our health and fitness journey that you can have indulgences sometimes, that we can have cheat meals sometimes, that we can whatever and still have make progress towards our goals, because it's a lifestyle, because we're consistent the majority of the time. The same is true in our business building activities too, you guys. We need to be consistent the majority of the time. That doesn't mean you can't ever miss a day. That doesn't mean that life can't get so overwhelming that like you only do half an hour. But what that does mean is that the majority of the time, the 80% of the time, that you are being consistent. And that doesn't mean that, I think sometimes we can feel like, man, I invited 14 people yesterday, that I'm like good to go. When in the reality is it's more effective for you to invite like 4 or 5 people a day consistently and not burn yourself out on inviting just 14, because it's about the consistency. And so our hope is that by making this fun, and putting in a little competition, by having everyone do a little bit of a buy-in, and you guys, like Kim and I both kind of shared, we're kind of working out the details where you might be able to earn all of your money back, or it might go to the top couple people. We're going to figure that out this weekend in the next couple of days. But the reality is that you're going to see growth in your business. If you don't really know what to do each day, this business activity tracker is going to give you a couple simple steps. So if you feel like I'm pretty new, I don't even know what to do, or for some of us who've been doing this a long time, we can kind of get caught up in the social media training and forget that we have the basics, and like that's how we can build our business. That Beachbody literally spent lots of money to study the top coaches and figure out the common threads in their business, and then shared those common threads, the 4 vital behaviors, with all of us. That if we stick to those basics, we can grow our business. And so we thought, let's create almost like a coach challenge group, right? Like this coach, like let's just like really go all in, where we hold each other accountable, where we know that everyone else is pushing to advance their business too, where we know that everyone else is going all in their fitness, starting on Monday through right before Summit. And for those of us going to Summit, some of us on this call are going, how great is it going to be to like show up there just feeling confident and excited and just continue gaining momentum in our business? And for those of you guys who are not going, how great will it be for you to feel that you're starting to gain momentum in your business, that you're confident, you can share about Summit, about how you have these opportunities to go and that you plan to go next year. And people are going to see, wow, like she's doing this. Like I'm watching her transform. And the same way that for me, I jumped in 6 months after my coach did because I watched her transform. You know, like I saw her serious results. I watched her talk about her income growth. And so I jumped in, and we're trying to create this atmosphere for you guys and for us too, where we create this atmosphere where we help each other do what my coach did for me. Show me that this is possible so that other people, so that I wanted to join her. And so this isn't supposed to be scary, but this is kind of like a call to step up. If you are someone and you want to start gaining momentum in your business, if you are someone and you want to start making progress, like some serious progress in your health and fitness goals so that your results pictures like are noticeable, that other coaches want to share them, that like people are like, what the heck, that's you? What the heck, you did that in 4 weeks? Like, let's go all in together. We're going to feel great. We're going to be gaining momentum in our business. We're going to be helping tons of people. We're going to see financial gain from it. And we're just going to be like excited to continue. And then one more thing I'll share is that one of the analogies I heard when I first became a coach and started wanting to build a business. For those of you who don't know, I was a coach for a while before I started really working the business. It was when Kim signed up, and I was like, oh, I want to do it. She's doing it. And so then I started working the business, and so we've like really grown our businesses together since then. But I was listening to this call once I committed to that, and it was talking about building momentum in your business. And it was like, gave the analogy of like pumping a well, right? And like when you start pumping this well, no water comes out, right? So you have to keep pumping and pumping and pumping. And if you stop, the water drops all the way back down to the bottom and you never get the water, right? And so then if you want more water, like if you're still like, no, I still want that, you have to start pumping all over again. And if you think about it, in this analogy, water is our momentum and the pumping is us doing the work, right? And so if we start doing the work, doing the power hour, going all in with our health and fitness, and we feel like, oh, it's been a week and I haven't hit Success Club yet. Like people aren't jumping out of the woodworks to join me. I haven't been able to like pay off my Shakeology yet. Like I'm done. I've done this for 7 days. I'm done. You're never going to gain momentum. You're never going to start like really building your business because you're going to do what everyone expects us to do, which is give up, right? You're just going to like disappear, which is what everyone expects from us. But if you really want to gain momentum in your business and you need to start pumping about water, pumping the water from the well, pump, pump, pump. And then once you start getting that water, you need to keep pumping. Because what also happens is sometimes we start to gain the momentum and then we stop pumping. We stop doing the very activities that got us there because we just feel like, oh, we've made it. I can skip today. Oh, I've made it. I don't have to reach out to anyone. I don't have to add anyone on Facebook. I don't have to post. I don't have to show up in my challenge group. But no, the way that you maintain momentum in your business is by continuing your consistency and continuing to work. So your 4 battle behaviors, your power hour, that's what the pumping is. And so we're all going to go all in together for 4 weeks, and we're going to pump together. We're going to work together. And I can promise you, like Kim said, we promise you, those of us who are consistent and who are actually committed to this outfit and doing it, we're all going to be at the top of the leaderboards this month. We're going to be showing people, like we're going to be the ones helping the most people. We're going to be the ones getting most people to join us. We're going to be the ones who are growing our paychecks the most. You know, whatever your goal is with this business, you're going to be able to make significant progress if you commit and go all into this health bet. And so we really invite you guys over the next couple of days to like really get yourself in a mindset that like you're going to do this and you're going to go all in, and you're not going to let yourself believe that you can't do it. You're not going to let yourself believe that you couldn't possibly commit to doing your power hour every day, or you couldn't possibly commit to being serious with your nutrition or your fitness because you've got too much going on, or because of whatever it is, because you've never been that consistent or whatever. You need to clear your mindset of all of that. You need to pick your personal development book for the month, and you need to be ready to show up with us on Monday morning and take your before pictures and just be ready to go. And Kim and I will post more details this weekend about it. If you guys have questions now, please ask. If you have questions over the weekend about it, reach out to us. We're so excited. And I guess I'll stop there. I know I'm like sweating because I'm like still like amped up about this. So if you guys like have any questions, now is a great time to ask them.
I was just gonna pop in too and say that, you know, I think when we look like we're doing too much on the outside and we look like it's challenging, that is not inviting to people on the, because people are going to see that and be like, I can't do it all that. Like she's got like 7 groups going. Like they have to see that it's simplified.
Yeah.
And so I think that the business, like learning to just take in the power hour and like bring it down to the basics. The fact of the matter is Melanie Mitro still uses this business activity tracker, and she's the top coach for the last 3 years. So clearly, and that's it. She's it's simple. Obviously, she probably has someone help her once all the people funnel in. But at the end of the day, like that's how simple the power needs to be. But I think we want to make it, you can spend your time doing a lot of the wrong things. Yeah. And I think that I spent most of the beginning of my business doing a lot of scrolling in Facebook, and you know, you get trapped in there. But at the end of the day, you learn how to set yourself up with the right things to do, and away you go. So I think that that's our goal, is just to help you see the simpleness of this business.
Yeah.
But how powerful that can be.
Yeah. And I totally agree. And I love that you brought that up, Kim, because that was something that she and I were talking about this week. Like if you are on Facebook and all you're posting about is fitness, and you're doing multiple workouts a day, every day, and all you do is want to share recipes, and all you want to do, I think that's unapproachable to people who feel like they're so far away from that. They're like, man, that's a lot of work. Nope, I'd rather buy a wrap. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather sit there and buy something off an infomercial that promises to give me abs if I strap it around my waist and I just sit there. You know, and so share your life with people over the next 28 days. You guys invite people in. I think share that you're doing this health fix. Share that it's really fun. Share about the team, but then also share about the rest of your life. And just know that people need to, one of the things that Shalene Johnson said, like people need to feel like they know you. And this is something that Priscilla actually told me first, that she was, I think it was Shalene who told her, but people need to feel like they know you. People need to feel like they like you, and people need to feel like they can trust you before they're going to join you in this journey. And so we just need to share ourselves with them so that they know us, they like us, which if you're sharing yourself, they're going to like you because you guys are all amazing. And then that's going to help them trust you as well to join you on this journey. So do you guys have any questions before we wrap this up, whether it's about this or like anything in life?
Anything in life.
No? Okay, so if you guys, I mean, obviously, like when you guys keep thinking about it, as questions come up, please ask. You can ask either Kim or me. Just comment in the team page probably, because if you have that question, it's likely other people do. And thank you guys so much again for joining us. We just love seeing your faces in real time. And we're just so thankful that you guys took the time to join us. And we will get that business activity tracker before Monday. We'll put it in our team page so it's easy for you guys to find. We're going to nail down those rules so that it's really easy and simple to understand how to participate and how to win. And we are just so excited to hopefully have you guys join us in that health step. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you soon. All right. Hey, bye.